Welcome everyone to this Saturday recording for the Malvern Retreat House. My name is Father Jim McGuinn.
Michael Norton. Deacon Tony Sincotta.
And every Saturday we get together, 1, 2, 3 people, to talk about life and faith, connecting life and faith. So there's a lot of things that we want to cover this Saturday, and we should probably just jump into it right away. Maybe the first would be an update on some of the retreats that are happening this weekend and that are planned for the next weekend or the weekend after that.
Yeah, so I mean, we're excited. We have the Chester County group coming in today. The men should be arriving, start arriving pretty soon. I think there was 70 or 75 registered, and what was really nice about it, people know that we have some limited occupancy here because of the CDC rules in the county, but we have men who are coming on site and men who are doing it virtually, and it delights me to know that folks can get the virtual retreat, and it counts for your year.
That's right.
So you don't have to miss completely. And I think that's, Tony was saying, that was most important, that we continue to deliver this mission.
And how many numbers on site for this weekend retreat?
I believe it's 44.
44 on site, and how many virtual?
It's up to 30. It was over 30.
Okay.
Yeah, so 44 on site, 30 virtual retreatants.
And those numbers might come up for at least the virtual.
Sure.
That's right. And just a reminder, that we're having a 2-day retreat for the rest of the year. It starts on Friday evening,
Right.
and then it goes through to the 4 o'clock Mass on Saturday, and that Saturday Mass fulfills your obligation on Sunday. Next week, who's coming in?
Edward J. Friel.
Oh, E.J. Friel's coming in.
coming in, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
We have another retreat this weekend?
The Retrovive.
Oh, Retrovive.
Right.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Retrovive. We have, throughout the year, we have different types of retreats for couples.
Right.
Yeah, and we have several retreats for couples whose marriages are doing well, and they want to continue to grow in their love for each other and the Lord. We have Valentine's
Right.
dinner and conference, that's on a Sunday.
Right.
Father and daughter.
Father and daughter retreat, and then we also have Retrovive.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about Retrovive.
Well, I just think that, when you hear, this is just me, but sometimes when you hear Retrovive, you think, oh my Lord, it's like it almost has a negative connotation to it. But it really doesn't. It's really a positive program, and one that the church has put together to help, those of us who have been married. There have been troubling times. Some it's a little bit more than others, but let's be perfectly honest. There can be stress in the marriage, and the church, because of the sanctity of the marriage, has a program to help people during those stressful times. And my hat's off to people who would come to that. I know as a man, I don't really like to share too deeply, but when it comes to my marriage, I'd do anything to save it. So I just, I've never been to it. Mrs. Norton may think I need to go to it.
She's going to know somebody.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's a powerful witness that is given, and it's a very private retreat, by the way. We respect the folks that are there. We respect their privacy, and we want to make sure that they feel secure and safe, because, like Michael said, what they're sharing might be very difficult, because a lot of it is in an open type forum. And these folks are not just giving up on their marriage. They are trying, as Michael said, they talked about their sacramental marriage. The sacrament of marriage is, of course, one of the sacraments of service, along with holy orders for priests and deacons. And that's what a couple does. They serve each other throughout the years. And sometimes it gets very difficult, and folks take that extra step in order to help save their marriage, not only because of themselves, but possibly for children, grandchildren, their homes, their occupations, and so forth. And I commend these folks for doing this.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, and we respect their privacy. And as we said, we have a married couples retreat. I was the director for it last year, And these folks are just as happy as can be, and they can't wait for their retreat. So it's sort of one end to the other. And you never know, we were trying to get those Retrovive people over to the married couple retreat.
That's the
which would be
goal.
Great, that's our goal. So we're hoping to do that, or we're praying that that occurs. And then they move forward, not only in their marriage, but in service to the Lord.
Yeah, the married couple retreat, I just want a little shout out to a guy that has really committed, both he and his wife Greg and Bernadette Valentine.
Oh, sure,
I mean,
sure.
they just, every year, I don't know how long, I mean, they've been doing it for longer than I've been here, and I've been here 10 years, and they really put their heart and soul into it, and just, you know, if it's something that you were thinking you want to have a nice, really joy-filled weekend, well, we're not having it this year because of the COVID, but, you know, try that married couples retreat.
And if I could just add, as I said, last year I was the retreat director. And since I have an office here at Malvern, I decided to bring all of my information that I was going to share, all my books and all my lesson plans and everything, and my handouts. And I went over it at about 9 o'clock in the morning. Check-in is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And Greg and Bernadette are there setting up.
Right.
And I had not met them before, and I'm like, who are you? You know, and I'm introduced because we only spoke on the phone in the past.
Great couple.
And it's just a great dedication and great joy. We'll miss them this year.
Sure.
It's a September retreat, but we'll miss them this year.
And just for your information, retrouvaille is a French word. It means rediscover or rediscovery. And that's the goal, is to help couples to rediscover the love they had for each other when they first got married.
Right.
And we all know that
Right.
there's a lot of struggles today in marriages. And it's a retreat program that started in Canada, and it's spread all over the world. And there's different parts to it. There's the actual retreat, where you come to a retreat house like this. Then there's follow-up between the couples and the other couples on the retreat. Yeah, and then they're encouraged to get involved to help other retreats,
Right.
other couples who are struggling in the future.
So is that led by a priest?
It's a team of people.
Okay.
So there's a priest, and then there's other couples,
Okay.
and a lot of those couples have had struggles in their own marriage. So it really is a great retreat.
Yeah.
Tony, you want to talk about Sunday's outdoor exposition and benediction?
This Sunday, as Father said, we will be having our second event at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. It's tomorrow. We're going to be outdoors by the Family Life Center. Come one, come all. There's no fee or anything, just please come. And we will have exposition of the Blessed Sacrament. Then we will process in a group around the property here, beautiful Malvern, praying the Rosary, the Holy Rosary. And by the time we return, we're going to sit in front of the sacrament for a few more minutes and then do benediction. Probably sing a song or two if I know Father Jim. And it's a rain or shine kind of event. Every third Sunday we will be having this.
Yep.
And if it rains or if there's inclement weather, we will do it indoors in the Family Life Center. And indoors in the Family Life Center, we have a chapel. And when we're finished, you can stay on our grounds and do the Stations of the Cross if you wish. But we also have stations inside the chapel as well. And we'll be here to assist anybody who needs anything or needs information. We did it once. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience, and we hope that you can join us.
So just spread the good news. That's this Sunday. Exposition, outdoor exposition and procession at 2 o'clock. Stations of the Cross at 3 o'clock. If you want to bring something to eat afterwards and hang out, feel free to do that as well.
And just put a blanket down on the grass if you like. The Family Life Center will be open, so if you need to use the restroom, we're here for you.
Yeah. Okay, so if you were to join us on Sunday, when you come onto the property, you're going to see a lot of trees down. And I was just talking to somebody who had to take a tree down on their property. It cost $4,250. One tree. $4,250 to take this big tree down. In the most recent storm, we lost
12.
12 trees. And we've had some pretty nasty storms over the past 2 or 3 months, and we've lost a lot of trees. So, Mike, you want to follow up on that? And
It's just, you know, it's interesting, 125 acres and you know, the trees fall and so, okay, so some of them don't fall on a path or something. But as we talked about, and there's one of our videos was showing, our grotto, our beautiful grotto just got hammered. It almost looked like a tornado went through there.
Yep.
And I had no idea how bad it looked, and then I went down, and when Mark was doing that video, it looked like a video from Jurassic Park.
Yep.
I mean, it was like, you couldn't see the grotto.
Right.
Big, I mean, trees this big around, and so we've had some very generous donors that have donated money for the cleanup, but there's a tremendous amount of cleanup that goes on around. I mean, as you said, you know, my neighbor had that same thing, a tree go down, and you know, her tree went across the street, and well, they don't play, you need to move the tree.
Yeah.
And so that's, you know, but all the help, the grounds, you know, we try to keep them so beautiful, and as an aside, we were talking about Sunday, and the guy that I know texted me last night, hey, Nort, is it all right if I come over and walk the grounds with my 4-year-old? Are you guys open for that? I said, hey, KJ, absolutely, anytime.
Yeah.
So I think people should know that,
Absolutely.
you know, we're open. If you happen to see yellow tape around or something, that's, you know, don't walk there because that's our big trees down. But come over and enjoy the grounds and spend time here. People are using it really for a place to come and find some silence, and yeah, please come on over. And if you're so moved, you know, a little something to help us with the arbor, we could.
One of the most beautiful events that happened out of this, all the damage around the grotto is, if you're familiar with it, and you can look online, we have beautiful pictures of it before and after. But you'll see St. Bernadette, a statue kneeling in front of the grotto, and the Blessed Mother inside the grotto. They weren't touched by the trees.
It was amazing.
No.
Never touched them. Yet all around them was just devastation, as Michael
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Devastation. That's saying something.
Yeah.
It's worth looking at that video that Mark did just to see, because the video doesn't do it justice. I mean, it was frightening.
Yeah.
How bad, yeah.
Mike, if someone wants to make a special donation to help with the trees and the landscaping, especially down the grotto, what are the different ways that they can do that?
Well, the best way, if you want to dedicate it, you know, to helping with the trees and the grotto, is you make your donation and you say, I'm restricting it to this. Our donor, one of the donors who just gave us a very handsome sum, did that, but they emailed me, I'd like to do this. And I ask you just to do that, and it's mnorton, N-O-R-T-O-N, at malvernretreat.com. Just email me and I'll get right back to you, because when you're starting to talk about gifts like that, I would rather talk to you rather than having it come through the website. I love the website, but I want to talk to you, just so we get everything right and exactly the way that you want it. If you just want to, donate to the general fund, you just go to the website, go to the donate page, and when the drop-down menu comes, I'll give the Malvern Forward. That's the program that we have right now to help get us through this year. This has been. I'm going to take a left-hand turn here.
No, I was just going to say, why don't you just give us a little update on the Malvern Forward campaign and why we're doing it?
Yeah, all of us, this has been the craziest year. I'm 63 years old. This has been the craziest year that I've seen in my life without, I mean, everything. I mean, it was, you know, the temperatures are up, but the COVID hits, and everything just came to a screeching halt. I know everybody knows this, but what did it do to us? There aren't any retreats here. You know, and half of our revenue comes from the retreat fees. And, you know, we've lost $1.2 million in retreat fees. Now, I don't want to make it all about the money, because sadly it's also that means that there's, you know, a couple thousand men and women who weren't able to have their annual retreat.
Right.
But we're doing everything we can to keep this going forward. And it's tough when you're not taking income. Many of you that have businesses know that. We put together a program called Malvern Forward, so that we can continue to move Malvern forward. What's interesting about that is, someone said, well, why Malvern Forward? You know, you're going to get through this year. Yeah, we're struggling to get through this year. I'm going to be honest with you, we're struggling to get through this year. We will get through.
That's right.
But when you talk to the people who have given, they all say, it's not just that I want to give for this year. It's for the next, I want to make sure Malvern's here for the next generation,
Yeah.
for the next generation.
Yes, exactly.
So, and that's where we are, and you gentlemen would know better than me, the amount of people who are calling it, they desperately miss their retreat.
Mhm.
Yes.
And, which is wonderful, because we know that, it's in their soul, but we need your help in moving this forward. We've raised about 400,000, we have to raise 1.2. I am not ashamed to ask for the money.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of it, because I'm not asking for the money for me.
Mhm.
I'm asking on behalf of the Malvern Retreat House and all the folks that come here.
And our anniversary celebration, birthday celebration for next year,
Right.
100 years.
100 years here.
At this location.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a segue to move forward. We want to have that 100th anniversary, and then 101 and 102,
Right.
because this place is just so special. I don't mean to call it a place, but it is such a wonderful, wonderful location. And we offer, in alternatives, please go on our website to look at our YouTube videos where we do our prayer services
Right.
and teachings. Very similar to what we're doing now, but more of a religious, Father and I do them.
Right.
And it's important that we still bring to you, our retreatants, our viewers, or people who are curious about Malvern, the fact that this is a Catholic site that brings Jesus right into your homes, even though if you can't be here.
Well, and I think it's important, you raise a great point. The board had a very difficult decision to make, because the easiest thing to do would have been to shut down
Mhm.
completely. And we could have shut down for 3, 4, 5 months and
It's been 5 months.
Yeah,
It's been 5
and said to
months.
folks, we're shut down for 5 months, can you help us so that we can get through this, and shut down, and we wouldn't have had any expenses, and it would have been, but the board said, no, we have to keep this going. We're going to keep it open no matter how painful it is, so that we can deliver the message, and that's why Father Jim has become, the fastest rising movie star on in Malvern, and Tony, and I kid about that. No, they're doing a great job, but it's amazing how many people are tuning into that. But that was a board decision, and that was a business decision that I'll bet if you did a study at Harvard, you'd have half of the class saying, you would have, shut it down.
You better shut it
Right,
down.
to shut it down. The mission was too important, the money is secondary, but again, I say to you, I'm asking not for me, please support. We are not going to get through this without the help of every man and woman of Malvern. Whatever you can give, please give. And we have I've said enough. This isn't a video to raise funds, but since you asked,
And I agree, sometimes as Christians, we shy away from talking about money, and Jesus never shied away from talking about money, and you need money to do the mission. No margins, no mission, so.
I actually had a pastor years ago, and he went like this, and he said, this is, Jesus died for us. And in many ways, our arms are like this, because we are a begging church, and we beg to help feed the poor and those who are pushed off to the side in society, and all the other things that we do as Christians. So we beg for peace and for justice and so forth. So it's okay to beg for a few dollars here and there, so we can keep this incredible location open for you, that you can come back anytime. And all of those retreatants out there who are getting their retreats during through videos, we want you back in here for our normal retreats.
Yeah, I mean,
your normal retreats.
as great as the videos are, and they are filling a need in some of them. I mean, the comments that we're getting, it's great. But clearly the folks are saying,
There's a difference.
we need to be here.
Yeah, because we've been here long enough, we know people, they know us, and they know exactly what to expect, and they miss each other. The camaraderie, the men and women that come here, the camaraderie.
Sure.
The joy of just one person seeing another person after a year. It's beautiful, it really is. And from where they travel from.
Well, I know we're going to have to close this out, but let me just share with you one of the things that someone said to me, and talking about being proud to be a man, and I hear proud to be a man or a woman of Malvern. And I don't know how many times it's happened to any of you guys, but I have been as far away as Bar Harbor, Maine.
Mm-hmm.
And I have my Malvern shirt on, and the guy yells across the street, "Frozen!" And it's like, you know, you can go anywhere, and just what does it mean to be a man of Malvern? And it's like, you know, when they used to talk about being a gentleman, you knew what a gentleman. Men of Malvern are a certain status. You know, we're faithful, we're loyal.
Yeah.
You know, we believe in Jesus, and we're proud of it.
Mhm.
And it's great when you go out there and folks see you. So,
Yeah.
you know, you can go anywhere. You know, so behave.
Yeah.
Like the mother used to say.
Wherever you go, behave. If you're a man of Malvern or a woman of Malvern, just behave. And it's a great, yeah, that's right. Wear the pin proudly, and it's a great community to be part of.
Yes, it is.
So, thanks for joining us on this Saturday. Come back next Saturday. Go to our website throughout the week. Every day we have something there.
Right.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would really, really help us tremendously.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, friends.
Let me just say one thing, I'm sorry. If you do come to the YouTube channel and you subscribe, you will get that. If you get the email that we send out every day with the link, and you say, "I'll get the emails," these videos will come to you every morning.
Oh, okay.
Without
Good.
fail, so, yeah.
Great. Okay, the Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
May Almighty God bless and protect you and all of your loved ones, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Go in God's peace.
Thanks.
Thanks be to God.
Prosit.
Prosit.